Hi guys, hope you're having a great day. If for some reason Mrs. Bennett isn't there and you need her help, make sure that you run over and ask her for help. I'm sure she'll be willing to help you. So just a quick review on complex fractions before you start on your homework tonight. So complex fractions, remember, are when I have two fractions that make up a fraction. So you can see that we're doing 3/5 divided by 2/6. So if our fraction looks like this, remember we want to rewrite it like this, 3/5 divided by 2/6. Now, remember we can never divide fractions, so I have to use copy.flip. So I can go ahead and do 3/5. My division changes to multiplication, and I flip my last guy as such. Now I can't cross simplify, so I'm going to go ahead and multiply across the top. 6 times 3 is 18. 5 times 2 is 10. Now I'm going to look to see, is there anything that I can take out of both the top and the bottom? And if there is, I can go ahead and simplify my fraction so it's in the simplest form. I can go ahead and take a 2 out of the top. 19 divided by 2 is 9. 10 divided by 2 is 5. So my answer is 9/5, or 1, because I can take 5 out, and I'm left with 4, so I have 1 and 5/4. Okay? So remember, complex fractions is just when I have two fractions, and you're going to divide them, and you need to make sure that your big thing is you use copy.flip. Okay, let's take a look at the next one. John spent 3.5 hours solving 2 1/6 science problems. How much time did he spend on each problem? So, because we want to know how much time he spent on each problem, we're going to divide the amount of time up over how many problems he did. So we have 3.5 hours over 2 1/6 problems. Same thing. We cannot divide like this, so we're going to rewrite it so that I have 3 1/2 divided by 2 1/6. Same thing, can't divide fractions, so I'm going to use copy.flip. But before I use copy.flip, I have to change these to improper fractions. So remember, we multiply by the bottom and add to the top. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7, so I get 7/2 divided by, same thing over here, 6 times 2 is 12, plus 1, we get 13/6. Okay, so same thing, we're using division, so I need to use copy.flip. So it can stay 7/2, changes to multiplication, and it's 6/13. Now if we take a look, we can cross simplify. The 2 divided by 2 is 1. 6 divided by 2 is 3. So now I can go ahead and multiply. 7 times 3 is 21. 1 times 13 is 13. So I get 21/13. I cannot simplify that, so I can go ahead and write it as 1. And I can find the difference between 12 and 13, which is 8. So I get 1 18/13 hour for each problem. So this is how long it takes, John for each hour. And we want to make sure we have a complete sentence. A lot of your homework problems will look like this one today. Make sure over the weekend that you're putting 3